Adam!
Hey guys!
This place is amazing.
Awesome, glad you like it.
Love
Good
it.
to see you again.
Glad you could join us.
Thank you very much for having us. So I noticed that you don't have any IPAs, any pale ales. Like you have no hobby beers whatsoever on here. Like what? What's up with that?
Yeah. So, Strangeland, we do the beer less traveled.
Right on.
We felt like pale ales, IPAs, blondes, ambers, those beers are very well represented in the marketplace. We wanted to bring old world style craft beer that relied on more than just hops for its flavors. So you have yeast characteristics that are live and wonderful and flavorful, as well as the malt and all kinds of amazing herbs that we use for our beers as well.
Nicely done. We actually have a nice spread of beers here, but I'm gonna stop for a moment because I need to go check on Larissa. I left her with Tim, and I actually just want to make sure that Tim's okay. All right, I'll be back in a moment, gentlemen. Talk amongst yourselves.
The place is still standing, so she hasn't demolished your joint just yet.
That's a good thing.
I'm trying to keep my attention away from the beers right now, Adam. So before we get into those, let's get into this. So how long have you been into the beer lifestyle?
Yeah, so in 1994, I really fell in love with craft beer. So I started helping my roommate do some of the brewing. I did most of the grain shoveling.
Right.
And just fell in love with the craft beers at that time.
When was the first brick? The first kernel? The first grain?
Great pun.
Thank you.
So we really started to cut ground on this thing about a year and a half ago or so, and releasing our beers to the market on draft first, and then packaged bottles and now cans.
Yeah. And what you've got? How many have you got on tap here right now?
Well, we keep 14 or so. I think we've released 20 to the market so far.
Right.
Always waiting for the next beer to release. We have lots of ideas.
So cool. Tell me how you got into brewing.
Right, so I was a mechanical engineer in the Air Force. About 10 years ago, I started home brewing, developed a passion for it, figured out that was my calling in life. And about 5 years ago, I got hooked up with my partner, Adam, and that's when we started working on the concept of Strangeland.
Strangeland. I like that. It's so catchy, but where did it come from?
Right, we get that a lot, actually. So Walker Percy was an author who talked about the melees of modernity, how mankind's kind of lost its way. And we thought that was a really great motif to bring into with the beer, especially being here in Austin, where we like to keep things weird. And so we do things a little bit differently.
So, since you do things a little bit differently here, is that why Isaac mentioned the whole bright tank thing?
Right, so Bright Tank, we actually don't have one. Most breweries have one. That's where they carbonate their beer in the Bright Tank. But we do everything naturally conditioned, whether it's in a keg, a bottle, or a can, which means that the carbonation is produced naturally.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Hey.
how's it going over here? Good to see you again. You learning some things?
I'm learning so much.
Right. Did you find out about the Bright Tank
I
thing?
did, just now.
Sweet. I got a flight of beers that you guys have actually brewed. I'm gonna go try those out.
Lucky.
Y'all have fun.
Awesome.
Save me one.
Okay.
Okay, so I really want to be a part of this process. How can I help? What can I do right now?
Yeah, we just finished bottling. I think they're putting on the labels over there in the tap area.
Yeah?
So go for it.
Okay. Thank you so much,
welcome.
Tim.
So one of the things that really stood out to me about your wonderful brewery is you brew live beer. Now that may sound obvious to some people, but it's not, is it?
No, in fact, many people don't really understand what that really means.
Right.
Yeah. So live beer, homebrewers know them as naturally conditioned, and it's kind of not known to the commercial world. It's harder, it takes longer cellaring time, but what it really means is the yeast is still alive in the beer. And it's going to deliver you a lot of flavor and a lot of nuanced carbonation that cannot and will not be present in what I consider a dead beer, a fizzy beer.
So how many other people are doing that?
Yeah, so in the keg, we know of no other.
Right.
In bottles, very select few. You got a lot of the Belgians and a few Belgian styles.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Sorry,
hey,
didn't
no
mean to
worries.
interrupt. Larissa is alive. Tim is alive.
That's a good thing.
Larissa is
That's a good
actually
thing.
about to be bottling. So coming soon to a store near you, there's going to be some magical number 2s with Larissa's pretty little handprints on it.
Glad to hear it.
On top of that, I found this. You're canning.
Oh, yes.
You're canning this live beer.
I was just about to talk about that.
Okay, let's do that then.
So we know of no other brewery in the U.S. that are doing live bottle conditioned, can conditioned beer.
So this is the first.
Can we try this?
Oh, you should.
Real quick?
You should.
All right. So this is Alemania. Alemania?
That's right.
Is that
exactly.
how you pronounce it?
Alemania.
Alemania. And this is their alt beer. It's a German-style beer, very heavily malted, low ABV, about 4.5%. A little bit on the sweet side. But I'm very curious about this. Nice head already.
So Alemania actually means Germany in Latin and Spanish.
Really?
That's right.
When you combine the two, that's
There's
fantastic.
an earthy sort of underpinning tone to that, which is, oh, that's really good. That's really drinkable. You could,
I'll be drinking that a lot.
So you must be Brandon.
I am.
All right, well, I want to contribute to the beer making process, so show me what you got going on here.
All right, we got the labeling station here.
Okay.
It's the easiest thing in the brewery. All you gotta do is line it up with the plastic,
Okay.
hold for 1 second. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
This is a real job.
This is it. This is the one.
So you get
This is the
money for
job.
this. Like, you don't just volunteer to do this on your free time?
So much money.
So much money. All right, we'll step aside
All right.
because
Here we go.
I'm about to take over right here. I could do this with my eyes closed. I'm just gonna look at you.
Pro. Pro in the game.
Well, you can call it a day. I'll take it from here. Nice meeting you. You can go home.
All right.
We'll mail your check out.
So I got some job searching to do.
Yeah.
So our beer likes to be consumed at a slightly warmer temperature than straight out of the refrigerator. You're looking at about 50 to 60 degrees. Enhances all those flavors. The malt comes out, the yeast characteristics starts to come out. No worries about it going flat. The beer is still alive, so it will continue to carbonate and deliver carbonation for you. And then amazingly, you'll get all those flavors enhanced because it's a little warmer temperature.
Where should we start?
So I think you could start with the Altus in the draft form. I think that's a great way to try. You can do a lot of vertical comparison with what you just had in the can and how it compares with.
So basically what you're saying is your beers are a lot like Scotch, where it's like they can warm up a little bit and it's actually recommended that they do so.
That's
and
exactly
that extra bit of warmth there just release that aroma immediately.
Yeah,
That just covers the taste buds.
Oh, that's lovely.
And the natural carbonation, smaller bubbles, a much more velvety, smooth flavor profile.
I was going to say, there's a bit of sort of a
Yeah.
creamy undertone to the taste of that really comes through because of the temperature.
It's like it's almost like a Heath bar made into a
Right,
beer form.
Right.
Sorry if that's a trademark, but that's what it tastes like.
Definitely
We'll
use
deal
it.
with it. Yeah, we'll
See
use
us
it.
later.
Adam is an individual entity and does not represent the views of Geeks on Tap. For the love of God, please don't sue us. We are all broke as hell.
Let's do the Saison. We call it Plowshare. It's a Belgian style, 25% wheat, slightly spicy. I love this beer. It's hot weather, cold weather, pairs extremely well with food.
I am a huge fan. Yeah, I am a huge fan of Saison.
It's like a deep honey, right?
Do you filter it all?
We
or
do no
you-
filtering.
No filtration.
No, and in fact, through the no filtration process, you're still
Citrus.
delivering more of flavor than if you filtered it, even with the natural carbonation.
I'm very curious. So what yeast strain do you guys use?
It's a Belgian strain.
Okay.
It's a commercial release by White Labs. We love it. It actually makes 2 appearances for us. It's in our Double, which is we're about to be releasing, called an Abbey Ale.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's actually our #1 seller in draft.
I'm not surprised. The beer is great. It's wonderful. You get some nice citrusy notes to it. The wheat comes out in it a little bit, and you get a nice little, like, very mild spice and almost like a white pepper kind of vibe to it.
This
Nice.
is what I've been looking
Yeah,
forward to.
so
Yeah, you're a dark beer boy.
yeah, dark beer guy.
Show me the dog beer.
He
So
likes it dark.
classic British style, robust porter. Love this thing.
talking to me.
And
It's from your motherland.
British
it's
robust.
phenomenally robust.
Oh.
And let me tell you,
Has it got bad teeth?
it's got bad teeth. We made it just for you.
Very well done.
So Specs just called this the best porter available in Texas.
Really?
Yes.
That's some high praise considering it's Specs.
Pretty excited about
God save the Queen and all who sell
that.
in
And that beer does save the Queen right there.
Oh,
That beer will save every
don't lie.
It's nice.
Well,
What's
that's
the
wonderful.
ABV on this guy?
It was 6.8, I believe that's
Oh
what
god,
that
that's
is.
a lot of roast on that.
yeah, it's like a roasted hazelnut. So just an underpinning with that chocolate to it, which is just...
Oh, it's gorgeous. All right, what are we
Finally.
finishing off on?
Well, yeah, let me say about that. That is our Athol Bros Scotch Ale. Athol, the Earl of Athol, used to conquer his enemies by putting his Scotch whiskey in the water supply with honey and his flaked oats and conquer his enemy the next day. So the Earl of Athol, this beer's named after him. Bro is his porridge. It has 3 single malt Scotch whiskeys, soak in virgin white oak from Minnesota, flaked oats from Wisconsin. And oh my gosh, you get this amazing local Texas wildflower honey.
So much Scotch. There's so much Scotch on the nose in this guy.
You can feel that as an aftertaste as well on the back of the tongue.
Sure.
And there's a complex nature to those tastes there, which is really rich.
It's really rich.
Caramel thing that comes through as well.
Oh my God, and it's sweet without being syrupy.
Oh,
Like
wow.
again,
Right.
going back to like the lack of the forced carbonation. That's what allows this beer to be this beer.
You
Like,
got it.
No matter what, like this is pure velvet.
Velvet.
With booze in it.
You're starting to see the threshold of where your natural conditioning is giving you this velvety, smooth, high ABVs without booze. This is 8.9%. I feel like it drinks like a 6%er.
I agree.
There's no way that this drinks like an 8.9%.
Are you aging any part in the barrels, or are you actually using
In Strangeland, we actually can't because barrels, these babies kill our yeast strains. So we're using the primary yeast strains. I can't put our beer in barrels, so we actually reverse the process. We put the barrel in the beer.
That's fantastic.
Instead of the beer in the barrel.
I'm gonna keep drinking this.
Keep drinking on that one.
Thank you so much, Adam, and you for joining us this evening.
Awesome.
We are Geeks on Tap.
And
I'm Isaac.
Yeah, I'm Craig, and this is Adam. We've got a lot to do, so thanks for joining us, and
Let's get drinking.
Yeah, we've got work to do.
see you later.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yay. Hard day's work.
Oh, man alive.